Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about parasites because it's really important that we remember that these lower vibe things, the dark, can come in to bring us light. And so we look at light in the dark and dark in the light. Oh, here's the light now. But what I want to talk about is the journey of parasites that I've had in my family and what I've come to in this journey that it takes us in a lot of different places as a family if we pay attention to it. So parasites themselves, obviously the physical body, that's where, the medical world, even biomedical world is at. Let's deal with it physically. All sorts of things, like from the chemical bomb, from the chemist to diatomaceous earth, to a lot of different ways that we can deal with them. And it brings up the issue of gut health and all of that. But what I want to first remind us all is let's look at the energetics of why are we attracting parasites in the first place. That is the biggest thing for us to look at because that's the actual root cause of it. And it's not going to change overnight because the root cause, what I feel, and please, feel into what is it bringing up for my family. It brings up low vibe emotions. So the emotional body gets brought in every time we have parasites in our family. We generally end up yelling or screaming in certain times because of the certain issues that it brings up, whether it's like money or whether it's like, oh my gosh, we've got to deal with the homeopathy every day again. Lots of different things that a lot of families aren't even realizing. They're just having these clashes and not realizing that there's parasites in the family. Like even things like children being attracted to sugar, even us as adults, all sorts of stuff. So that's the first part, is to start to go, okay, well, what is it doing to us? What are we getting out of it? Even though it may seem dark, actually, if we can all hoik out a whole lot more anger and irritation and all of that, when we clear out the dark, the light comes in. And so basically they're helping us to lean into those lower vibrations, to bring that stuff up, to come back around. The thing is, if we're proactively doing it and self-responsibly letting these emotions out, then we're doing it in an even lighter way again, and that's the practice. But when we don't even realize that we have parasites and we're not proactively trying to deal with them either, then we can stay on the merry-go-round of these issues. And it can look like, children with behavioral issues, bedwetting, not sleeping, eating sugar, but also parents and what it's doing to us, and considering that it is attacking our body to the point where, of course, we're attracting disease and cancer down the track. That is the crux of it, is that they are literally taking over us, taking over our mind when we're like, I think I'm going to go and eat more sugar or whatever, taking over ourselves and being able to be rational or whatever, adults or children. It changes us completely. And so that is us learning to go, hang on, that's not my true self that's acting in these different ways as an adult, or else spying it in our children and going, whoa, 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 hang on, is there parasites around here? And this is it actually making us someone that we're not? So the energy of it, though, is what I see is they're attacking us, right? And so it's that energy of parasitic energy attacking myself energy. If we're looking at why am I attracting this? What is the theme? Like attracts like. Am I attacking myself? And of course, you look around, and if we get honest, most of us are pretty good at judging ourselves. Our monkey mind whips us all day long. I didn't do that good enough, not good enough, that could have done that better. And then we put that energy onto our children too. And it's just a fact of life. We would be too perfect if we weren't. But the main part is that we're moving up and up as the generations go along to start to go, oh yes, where can I bring more love to myself? Where can I bring more love to my children? But really, primarily, it's where can I bring more love to myself? And that's a big one for us parents, because we're often trying to fix and focus on our children as opposed to come back within and where can I bring more love to myself, more love and understanding. So as you can see, that theme is not going to change overnight. So we really do still have to be vigilant on paying attention for when the parasites come back around again. What I see is we all are going on waves like this. Some people say, oh, it's the full moon, or it's this energy that's taking us into the darker vibes or up into the light again. But as you can see, it's all perfectly timed in. Certain events bring us to eating more sugary stuff, which of course changes our gut. Next thing there's parasites. We might even be blaming the sugary food. But is it? Oh, okay. Is it even the parasites? It's actually just bringing up the old energy that's within us that we've been shoving and storing down. The anger, the frustration, I don't like myself, I'm not very good, I'm not worthy. It's been coming since we were young. And so all that stuff that we've shoved down, it's a good thing if we can bring it back up. And so that's where the parasites are actually helping us. So that's the interesting message to start to ponder, and trying to bring that light to it, to go, oh, okay, it's not because that energy is really seeing that reflection of ourselves, like, oh, it's attacking me kind of thing. Oh my gosh, am I attacking myself? And so then we start to look into how can we deal with them. And my family and I have been on a big journey in experimenting with all the different ways that we can deal with them. We went to homeopathics. That really did work for my starry Hayden. And I see a lot of the starry, lighter, sensitive children really do need that energetic type of medicine. Then we also tried different herbal tinctures, which worked more so for my son and I, my other son, Decky, including diatomaceous earth and all the more physical stuff. My husband was more, again, with the family unit's always seeking balance. So the more one goes one way, well, then someone's going to go the other way. My husband's like, I've tried that. And he tried to come along with us. But the point is, he wasn't being his true self, and where the balance was, it was out of balance for him to follow us, which a lot of us mums are saying to the husbands, here, do this, but we're actually not allowing them to come to their own truth. So he went the opposite way and did the chemical bomb. So between the family, we're experimenting with all these different ways. And without judgment, it's just been interesting to see what works, what doesn't, what works for someone, what doesn't work for another. But of course, it's been interesting for me as a mum to go, the energy it takes to remember, you need that pill, you need this amount of this, I need that, I've got to remember this, blah, 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 blah. Let alone the money that we've poured out to some of the modalities. Just money has made me go, no. Other times I'm like, I don't have the energy for that. We all then went one time, let's just try the chemical bomb. We all took away different takings from that. And so that's just a learning in itself in how are we dealing with this and what medicine works best for my body. So now I've come around to Ayurveda. It was actually just recently easy to go, yes, can I have some little herbal tablets? Let's go, let's take. My husband, no. And then Hayden, he's taking it, but I can see it's almost more my energy of, come on, you need to, you should, because we want to get rid of these parasites, don't we? As far as almost guilting and shaming him into, you really should have this tablet. But my mum did that with me when I was younger, and my intuition was saying, I don't want vaccines. She's like, you don't want those viruses, do you? Because that was the only answer that she could see at the time, was to have a vaccine. And then I've been noticing myself saying to Hayden, well, that same energy of, you should do this, shouldn't you? So what I'm doing instead is to say, this is the only answer I have at this time. Do you want to take it? And he has said yes, but I'm also saying to him, so he sees that I see him and can always look back and say, I'm sure you'll find a different answer for this that'll suit you even better. And so you can see, and I know we're not done with this topic yet, because we haven't sorted all the answers out in the highest of light. And of course, we're not done with self-attack. So of course, we just see that it's coming. And that's where it starts to become very clever, if you can notice what are the signs, especially the more you go round and round with this topic, so that you can get onto it quicker. And I know for myself, sometimes it takes me a good while to go, oh, skin dots on one, me with an itchy nose, funny behavior. I'll dream of seeing worms, or the worms are literally escaping our worm farm. And I start getting the little, taps from the universe. Do you want to look at this? And then my husband will bring it up. I just heard a random podcast on this. And straight away, I had a tantrum because I didn't want to have to deal with it. And so straight away, that whole topic brought some of that darkness up. And underneath, it was basically me being tired as a mum and putting energy to stuff like this. I don't have the energy for it. But that's the idea of the parasites. It's like, hey, come on, bring this stuff up. Have your tantrum. Let this stuff up. It's not so much about them. It's more about what are we holding on to on the inside. So that is just a little scope to have a think about. Going the new way is more, please, see what's the light in the dark. And even in your children, ponder, okay, what if their behavior wasn't their true self? I'm really getting onto, notice when your child's in their true self, like light and love behaviors, and like, oh, they're amazing. As soon as they go, oh, you're irritating or whatnot, consider the parasites. Again, it's your journey and your foray. Yes, it's not a overnight thing to work out, do they have parasites? What would work for us in getting testing? And, for me, it's just been a no going into the medical world and getting stool testing and all of that. So we've done it with kinesiology, with oracles and pendulums, like all sorts of things, to the point where now I just like, you know what, I sense that it's here. Let's do this and go forth that way. But please let us remember, if we've all got it here and there, it's all there. And don't forget yourselves as adults that we can't just treat our children just because we think that they've got it. It's, the whole family. And that's where you go, the whole family is brought into this. And that's why it's not an overnight job, because I could come to my own truth, and I virtually have for myself around it. But then guiding my children who have different truths around it and different experiences, and may still be on their merry-go-round for some years yet, let alone my husband, where we're all the yin and yang opposites. We're kind of all connected because we all have to go through this together. Otherwise, it just spreads again. So it's an interesting one that brings up that energy of the family unit, and how are we doing this, not being judgmental of each other and being patient for us all to come to. That's the important thing to remember. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm not sure if I've answered everything on this topic that I've seen in the light yet. But yeah, I do wish you well with this, because I know it's not an easy topic to get around. But just a reminder, I don't think we consider it enough either. And yeah, imagine if we could all take a collective, treatment overnight for the whole world and the whole thing be gone. But of course, that's the point, is for us to all to keep, working at this together. See you soon, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.